Okay, I don't know if you guys can see me. Hey. Hello, hello. Hello, hello. Guys, we're going to have a beautiful conversation today. I'm doing something I have never done before. All right, I think this is fine. Yeah. Hey guys, so I want to have a very important conversation today. And I decided to go live because sometimes you just have to take the bull by the horn. If I decide to make this into a YouTube video and edit the video, God knows when it will come out. But yeah, I just turned 29. Yesterday was my birthday. And I just have this habit of creating content on my birthdays or like for my birthdays, either before or after or during. But I do that because I like to mark what I'm learning in each season. And I feel like if you're in your 20s, this video is going to benefit you so much. If you're someone that's you're in your early 20s, you're confused, you're stuck, you're frustrated, whatever the case may be, I feel like this video is going to help you so much because it's going to give you clarity. I feel like your 20s to a very large extent is the building season. I mean, except you're one of those people that you discovered your gifts at a very young age and your parents took action and just, helped you start and boom, you made it, in your as a teenager or something. If you're not one of those people, you probably fall under the category of people that you go through school, go through, formal education, and then you get to your 20s. Now, finally, you're done with school. So this is the time where you start to figure out your life. This is the time where you start to do trial and errors, work here, work there, you know, even in relationships, you're going to do a lot of experimentation at this phase, and now you're more serious because you're like, I'm an adult. And I'm here to tell you that that whole season where you're in your 20s and you're trying to figure things out, it can feel crazy. It can feel like you're, you know, doing so much and you're barely seeing results. I'm noticing that someone has joined in, but for some reason I can't see who you are because my tab isn't letting me to see you. I don't know if I should use my yeah, I don't know if I should use my phone, but let me just continue. 8 people. Hello, 8 of you. So yeah, I was saying that if you're in your 20s, it's going to be a very confusing season for you. Hello, thank you very much. Yeah, someone just said I look pretty. Thank you so much. When you leave comments, I can see you. I think that was Star Girl. Thank you so much for joining my live. So yeah, if you're someone that you're in your 20s and you've just been going through like a very confusing season, 18 people, hello, 18 of you. I understand, right? I'm 29 now, and thank you, Watermelon Family and Starfruits. Thank you for your comments. Say you love my hair, it's slaying. Thank you, Watermelon Family. Yeah, so as I was saying, your 20s are a very confusing season, and I can tell you for free that it's going to be a bit rough. But if there's someone that's you're in your early 20s and you're watching this video, please listen to this. There is always that pressure to rush. There's that pressure to want to be the best. There's that pressure to want to make it. There's that pressure to want to, see immediate results. And when every year goes by and those results, don't come, there is going to be that part of you that is just going to die. Like that part of you that has a lot of hope is literally going to die because, okay, Watermelon Family says, I'm looking for lives that don't have a lot of people. But yeah, as I was saying, that part of you is going to die because you will feel very discouraged. You feel very discouraged because you feel like every effort you're doing does not amount to anything. Thank you for subscribing, Watermelon family. Anyway, so that being said, I want to encourage you. When you're in your 20s, do not just focus on trying to do something. Like actually put in the effort to prioritize your relationship with God. I know you probably did not see this coming, but I'm saying this because there is, you can literally work so hard that you just end up feeling burnt out and discouraged. And that was the story of my early 20s. Just doing, and not seeing results and getting discouraged. I don't want that for you. Please focus on that relationship with God. Focus on spending time with God. Focus on listening to God. Let Him be your direction. It's not about hard work. If it was about hard work, market women that go to the market and work themselves to the ground, they are meant to be the richest people in the world. They work crazy hours, they barely have time to sleep, they are stressed out, and yet a lot of them cannot feed themselves. A lot of them cannot feed themselves. They can't feed their families. It's not because they are not hardworking. It's because it's not by hard work. Saying getting results in your 20s is by hard work alone is a massive disrespect to people that wake up every morning and go to the farms and still are not able to take care of themselves or send their children to school. If you have Even if you have help, even if you have resources, it's not going to be enough, because you can have so much resources and not know where to direct it into. If you're in your 20s, prioritize your relationship with God. I posted a video on TikTok and I was talking about the difference between Chronos and Kairos. Waking up every day and putting in that work. Waking up every day and doing what people call hard work. That's Chronos. You're executing, you're showing up, you're setting alarms, you're posting videos, you're doing whatever it is that you're supposed to do. That is hard work. And then you have Kairos, what I call that moment of supernatural or divine opportunity, right? If you're in your 20s, don't just focus on the hard work. Keep in mind that there is something called Chronos. And what that basically means is that you can actually wake up every morning and call forth supernatural or divine opportunities. You can wake up every morning and call forth divine opportunities. You can wake up every morning and you can send your angels on assignment to bring opportunities your way. You can. It's not just about working yourself to the ground. When you're in your 20s, prioritize spending time with God. Prioritize that season of, or that moment of time, where you get to pray, over just executing, showing up every day at work, putting out videos, doing this, doing that, starting this business, starting that business. All those things are nice, but if you're doing that alone, you will burn yourself to the ground. You want to make sure that even the chronos, the daily tasks that you're doing, they are things that God told you to do. You want to make sure that even the daily tasks that you're doing are things that God told you to do. And then you also want to make sure that you're spending time with God, because when you're spending time with God, what is going to happen is that chronos is going to meet with divine opportunity, which is Kairos. And once the two meet, that is where you see people blow up, and then you wonder, oh my God, how did you get here? What happened? Like, and it's not by luck. It's opportunity that met with preparation. Divine opportunity met with divine preparation, and that is what gave birth to results. It is not by luck. It is not by hard work or hard work alone. It is what I call grace work, working with God, doing that task with God, letting God lead you, letting God guide you, and executing with God, waking up, inviting Him into your daily execution. Not just doing that, but in addition to that, listening to the instructions that He's giving you and doing that. So basically, He's giving you the instructions and He's empowering you to execute on those instructions. That is how to make your 20s count. Because that way, if your 20s ended up being a waste, it had nothing to do with you. You can at least say that God was guiding me. I obeyed God every step of the way, and that is my flex. You can at least say that. If all you can say is that I obeyed God in my 20s, I did what He said, that is a flex. That is something that you should actually be proud of. So, yes, I came here to say this because yesterday was my birthday, and I just found myself reflecting on my entire 20s, and I was like, God is so faithful. God is so faithful. God is so faithful. I can boldly say about my 20s that I don't feel like a single year in my 20s was a waste because I did it with God. And I want you to be able to say that about your 20s. If you're someone that right now you're not doing that, this is a good time to start. This is a good time to start involving God into your daily tasks. This is a good time to not just ask God for strategy, but also involve Him in the day-to-day execution of that strategy. Praying, asking Him for direction, listening to Him, letting Him guide you. This is the best time to do it. Because that way, when your 20s are over, you can say, I obeyed God in my 20s. So, whatever results that came out of this, we bless God. At least I obeyed God. And I can tell you for a fact that God will never put you to shame. God will never put you to shame. Because that's a lot of people's fears and worries, like, oh, what if this does not work? If you're doing trial and error, there is a higher chance that will not work. In fact, that will not work. The odds are literally against you. But there's an alternative reality where you're not doing trial and error. You're listening to God and you're executing based on the instructions that God has given you. God will not put you to shame. It might look foolish in the moment, it might look stupid, but God will not put you to shame. Personally, right? The fact that I'm even on live right now was an instruction that God gave me. God told me, go on live on YouTube. And then I went on live and 18 people joined. And I never knew that, you guys are even like interested in things like this. But yeah, if you're still on this live, comments. I want to read your comments. But yeah, like this was an instruction from God. It's not by hard work, it's not by efforts. Like I spent hours shooting and editing videos, and you know, I've had videos that not even up to 18 people watched in the past. So maybe not on this channel, but I've had those videos. And that's why I'm so confident that it's not by hard work or effort. Because if it was by hard work or effort, then those videos where I spent a lot of time editing, those videos should have blown up. But no, it's the video that I'm just coming to, talk about how my 20s have been and what I've learned. That's, I'm seeing a lot of engagement and so on and so forth. So yeah, it's not by hard work, it's not by effort. I I have a very controversial opinion where I personally do not believe in hard work. I've tried it, and I am such a type A person. Like I'm big on execution, and I can tell you for free, I don't believe in hard work. I believe in working, but the kind of work I believe in is grace work, where God is telling you what to do and you're doing it. Hard work, I feel like, is trial and error. And because I've done it, I know it does not work. You watch YouTube videos, people tell you what to do, and then you go and execute. And sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Why live your life like that? Like your 20s will just end and you just feel drained. I'm not saying you can't get results from hard work. I promise you, there are people that put in the work, and after a ton of trial and error, they put the odds in their favor and they do see results. But there's a lot of time and energy and mental stress that goes into that. There's an alternative reality where God can tell you exactly what to do and you do it and you see results. There is that reality. It is possible, and it can be possible for you. I once posted a video where I said that if you do not know what is about to happen in your future, then you if you do not know what is about to happen in your future, then you're not fully living in your power as a believer, as a Christian. And I got a lot of backlash for for that statement, that you need to know what is about to happen in your life. Like nothing should take you by surprise. When I said that, a lot of people came for me. They were like, why would you say that? We need to, like, we should know what is supposed to happen in our life. Like, why would you say that nothing should take us by surprise? And I'm like, yeah, nothing should take you by surprise. But some people, like, they genuinely believe like that's BS. Like, I like life, things happen that you shouldn't, that sometimes you don't know about. And I don't believe that. I believe that as a Christian, as a believer, you enjoy divine precision because the Holy Spirit lives in you. As a Christian, God lives in you, and God knows the end from the beginning, and He's not using the information to do anything. So what stops Him from telling you? The only difference between one person and the other person is because the only difference between one person and the next person is that one person is actually asking God, what is the future? Like, what does the future say about this situation? So that I don't waste my time. And that is what I want you to do in your 20s. Don't waste it. Literally ask God, what should I do this year? What should I focus on this month? What should I focus on today? Like, let your 20s count for something. Enjoy that supernatural precision that you have in God. Let your 20s count. Let your 20s count. I can look back boldly. Hi, James Coxplay. Hi. Let your 20s count. I can look boldly at my life, my entire 20s, and I can say that I literally let God guide me. Thank you so much, James Coxplay. I let God guide me. And that is my flex. And I hope that that is your flex too. I hope that whoever is listening to this, I really hope that I can just get to one person. Just one person. I hope one person that needs this is hearing this. That you can actually get to the end of your 20s. James Coxplay is asking how old am I, or how old I am. I am 29. I just turned 29 yesterday as at the recording of this video. You can literally allow your 20s to count for something. You can look back in your 20s and say with boldness that I let every single day count. I let my entire 20s count for something. You can, it's possible. It's possible to walk in that level of supernatural and divine precision. So, yes, I'm saying all of this because there is someone that might need it. There is someone watching this that might need this information. I don't want to hide it. I'm going to tell you the truth, regardless of what you might see, whether you might think someone has gotten results or not. Just hear it from me that the only way forward is with God. It's called spirit advantage, where God is leading you, God is guiding you, and then you're obeying Him step by step. You're involving Him into your day-to-day life, and then finally, divine opportunity comes. And then boom, all of a sudden your name is everywhere. People want to be connected to you. And it's like, where did that person come from? Divine opportunity, divine alignments. I can come on here and tell you these are 20 tips and tricks for your 20s. Oh, your relationships, your health, your this. I promise you, none of that matters. None of that matters. None of that matters. The only thing that I feel like if I tell you and you go and execute on it, that I feel like it will actually change your life, is just me telling you that you should involve God in your 20s. That is the only thing that will make a massive difference in your life. That is the only thing that will make a massive difference in your life. Involving God in your 20s. Ask him what you need to do each month. Ask him what you need to do each year. Ask him what the next year looks like. Ask him what to focus on each day. Just involve God into the daily tasks and strategies, but most importantly, into the execution of those tasks and strategies. Listen to God, spend time with him. That will transform your life more than any tips and tricks or any hack that I could share with you. This is the hack. This is the hack. This is the life-changing hack. Involving God in your 20s. I don't know what you hoped to hear when you hopped on this live, but I came here to speak the truth. And I know that not a lot of people will hear this and, think that this is, useful advice. But I can speak from my life and tell you that no single year of my 20s were wasted because I involved God every step of the way. I asked him what the next year looked like. I asked him what each month looks like. I sought his wisdom and his advice for my life, and he did not put me to shame, and he will not put you to shame. I will end with this story. Coming into this year, I just told you that my birthday, as at the recording of this live, was yesterday. When I was about to come into this year, I was very anxious. I was very nervous. I was like, I don't really know what my 29th year looks like. And because of that, it's like I'm so used to God leading me and showing me what the future looks like that if I don't know what it looks like, then I'm scared, I'm nervous. And so I just prayed about it. I'm like, God, what does my 29th year look like? And then God begins to tell me what it looks like and show me, right? And you might hear this and be like, but how do I know I'm hearing the voice of God? Girl, guy, the Bible says, my sheep hear my voice. You have the ability to hear God because God has the ability to speak to you. Okay? So don't be don't be so worried about whether you're hearing God or not. Instead, think about it this way. Can God speak to me? God knows you better than anyone. And the answer is yes, he can speak to you because he's not deaf, he's not dumb, so he can speak to you. So I hope that has answered your question on like if I'm hearing God, if I'm not hearing God. God speaks to you and he knows how to get your attention. He knows how to communicate with you in a way that you would understand. So I hope that has clarified that question. If you're one of those people asking, how will I know if I'm hearing the voice of God? So yeah, I felt like I needed to share that. And yeah, what was I saying? Yeah, I was telling you my story. So I was nervous, like, what does this year look like? And then I prayed and I was like, God, what does it look like? Because the solution is not to worry about the problem, it's to take that problem to God. If you find yourself worried, that is a call to prayer. That is the moment where God is like, all right, it's time to pray, because the Bible says do not worry about anything, instead pray about everything. So worry is a prompting to prayer. So I asked God, what does this 29th year look like? And then he opened my eyes, and guess what? I saw how it looked like. I saw what to expect, and that then made me so excited about this year because I was able to hear God tell me what it looks like. He can see into the future. So if he tells me it's beautiful, then it's beautiful. If he tells me this is the year to manage or, just lay low, then I will lay low. But he told me it's beautiful, and that then got me excited. So in your 20s, involve God in your life. And as you do so, you'll be able to look back at your 20s when you're 29, 30 and say, yes, I did not waste any single year of my life. That is one of the biggest things that I'm grateful to God for. And I hope that would be your story too. So yeah, if you've stayed till this point, thank you so much. Yeah, I came on here to speak freely and to speak from the heart and to tell you things that may sound generic, but is really truly the only thing that works. Anything else is a scam. All right, that being said, I think I'm done with this live. If you stayed until this point, say hi, say hello. But yeah, I will end it right here. Thank you for joining. I love you guys. Subscribe, and yeah, I'll see you in my next live. I will do this again this time next week. Bye.